Stop scrolling. If you're over 40, what I'm about to tell you could literally save your prostate, your sex life, and potentially add years to your lifespan. Urologists have known this for decades, but nobody's talking about it in plain English. The connection between ejaculation frequency and prostate health isn't what you think, and the science will shock you. Breaking the silence. Let's be honest, talking about masturbation makes most people uncomfortable. Add aging into the mix, and suddenly it's a topic everyone avoids at dinner parties, doctors' offices, and even in their own heads. But here's the thing: urologists, the doctors who specialize in male reproductive and urinary health, have been quietly accumulating research for years that completely changes how we should think about sexual activity as we age. This isn't about morality, embarrassment, or judgment. This is about your health, your prostate, your quality of life, and potentially whether you'll face one of the most common cancers affecting men worldwide. The uncomfortable truth: most men have no idea that their sexual habits, or lack thereof, might be silently affecting their long term health. And when problems finally show up, they're often years in the making. So let's pull back the curtain and talk about what urologists actually know, what the research really says, and why this matters more as you get older. What's really happening to your body as you age first? Let's understand the landscape. Your prostate is a walnut-sized gland sitting just below your bladder. Its job is to produce fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. Sounds simple enough, right? But here's where it gets complicated. As men age, the prostate naturally enlarges. This condition, called benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, affects about 50% of men in their 50s and up to 90% of men in their 80s. This enlargement can squeeze the urethra, making urination difficult, painful, or frequent, especially at night. But there's something more sinister lurking. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer in men worldwide. In the United States alone, about 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. Now here's where things get interesting, and where masturbation enters the conversation. The Harvard study that changed everything. In 2016, researchers from Harvard Medical School published findings from one of the largest studies ever conducted on this topic. They followed nearly 32,000 men for 18 years, tracking their ejaculation frequency and health outcomes. The results were stunning. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had a 20% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated 4-7 times per month. Let me repeat that: a 20% reduction in cancer risk associated with something completely free, natural, and within your control. But why? What's the biological mechanism here? The science: why ejaculation matters for prostate health. Think of your prostate like a factory. It's constantly producing prostatic fluid, which contains various substances, including proteins, enzymes, and potentially harmful compounds. When these substances sit stagnant in the prostate for long periods, they can create problems. Here's what urologists believe is happening. The flushing theory: regular ejaculation acts like a cleaning system. It flushes out potentially carcinogenic substances, old cells, and built-up fluids that might otherwise contribute to inflammation or cellular changes. It's like regularly cleaning out your gutters versus letting leaves and debris accumulate for years. Inflammation reduction. Chronic inflammation in the prostate has been linked to cancer development. Regular ejaculation may help reduce this inflammation by preventing fluid stagnation and removing irritants. Cell turnover. Your prostate cells are constantly dividing and replacing themselves. Older cells that hang around too long can accumulate DNA damage. Regular ejaculation promotes healthy cell turnover. Hormone regulation. Sexual activity affects hormone levels, including testosterone and DHT, dihydrotestosterone. Regular sexual release may help maintain healthier hormone balance as you age. Beyond cancer, the other benefits nobody mentions. But prostate cancer prevention isn't the only reason urologists care about this topic. Regular sexual activity, including masturbation, offers multiple benefits that become increasingly important with age. Cardiovascular health. Sexual activity is actually good exercise. It gets your heart pumping and improves circulation. Some studies suggest men with regular sexual activity have better cardiovascular health outcomes. Mental health. The release of endorphins, oxytocin, and dopamine during orgasm isn't just pleasurable, it's therapeutic. These neurochemicals reduce stress, improve mood, and promote better sleep. For older men dealing with retirement stress, health anxieties, or life transitions, this natural mood regulation is valuable. Pelvic floor strength. The muscular contractions during ejaculation help maintain pelvic floor muscle tone. These muscles support bladder control and sexual function. As men age and these muscles naturally weaken, maintaining their strength becomes crucial. Erectile function. This might sound counterintuitive, but regular erections help maintain erectile function. The phrase use it or lose it actually has scientific backing here. Regular blood flow to the penis helps maintain tissue health and elasticity. The dark side. What happens when you don't now? Let's talk about what urologists see in their offices every day, men who've neglected their sexual health for years and are paying the price. Prostatitis. This painful inflammation of the prostate often results from fluid buildup. Men describe it as a constant ache in the pelvis, painful urination, and discomfort during ejaculation. Chronic prostatitis can significantly reduce quality of life. Urinary problems. As the prostate enlarges and potentially becomes inflamed, urinary symptoms worsen. Men find themselves waking up multiple times per night to urinate, experiencing weak stream, or feeling like they can never fully empty their bladder. Sexual dysfunction. Ironically, avoiding sexual activity can lead to worsening sexual function. Erectile dysfunction becomes more likely. The psychological impact creates a vicious cycle. Anxiety about performance leads to avoidance, which leads to worse function. Psychological impact. The combination of physical symptoms and sexual dysfunction takes a toll on mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. The nuance. It's not just about frequency. Here's where we need to get real. The research shows benefits from regular ejaculation, but that doesn't mean more is always better, or that there's a magic number everyone should hit. Urologists emphasize several important points. Quality matters. Healthy sexual expression, whether solo or partnered, should feel positive and stress-free. Compulsive behavior driven by anxiety or addiction doesn't provide the same benefits. Individual variation. Every man's body is different. Hormone levels, health conditions, medications, and life circumstances all affect what's normal or healthy for you. Age-appropriate expectations. What's typical at 25 won't be typical at 65, and that's okay. The goal isn't to match your younger self, but to maintain regular, healthy sexual function appropriate for your current stage of life. Partnership considerations. For men in relationships, communication with partners about sexual frequency and needs becomes increasingly important with age. What your doctor wishes you'd ask urologists report that most men never bring up these topics. They suffer in silence, assume problems are just part of aging, or feel too embarrassed to ask questions. Here's what your urologist wishes you'd ask about changes in urinary patterns, frequency, urgency, weak stream, changes in sexual function, erectile difficulties, reduced desire, ejaculation changes, any pain or discomfort in the pelvic region. Family history of prostate issues. Concerns about prostate cancer screening. Early detection and intervention make a massive difference in outcomes. A simple PSA blood test and digital rectal exam can catch problems early when they're most treatable. Practical recommendations, what to actually do. So what's the bottom line? Here's what urologists actually recommend. Maintain regular sexual activity, whether through masturbation or partnered sex. Aim for regular ejaculation. While the Harvard study suggested 21 times per month showed the most benefit, even more modest frequency appears helpful compared to infrequent activity. Schedule regular checkups. Starting at age 50 or 45 if you have risk factors like family history or African American ancestry, have regular prostate health discussions with your doctor. Pay attention to changes. Don't ignore new symptoms. Changes in urination, sexual function, or pelvic discomfort warrant medical evaluation. Maintain overall health. Prostate health doesn't exist in isolation. Exercise, healthy diet, maintaining healthy weight, and managing stress all contribute to better prostate and sexual health. Stay informed. Understanding your body and its changes helps you make better decisions and advocate for your health. The bigger picture, reframing how we think about aging. This conversation about masturbation and prostate health is really about something larger, taking control of your health as you age rather than passively accepting decline. For too long, we've treated aging male sexual health as a taboo topic, something to joke about or ignore until problems become severe. But urologists see the consequences of this silence every day in their practices. Men suffering from preventable or manageable conditions simply because they didn't know better or were too uncomfortable to speak up. The research is clear. Regular sexual activity, including masturbation, appears to offer real health benefits for aging men, particularly regarding prostate health. This isn't about performance or virility or matching some arbitrary standard. It's about maintaining healthy bodily functions that support overall well being and quality of life. Your health, your choice. So, yes, urologists do want older men to know about this connection between sexual activity and prostate health. Not because there's anything shameful or shocking about it, but because it represents an actionable step you can take to reduce cancer risk and maintain better overall health. You don't need to feel regret or shame if you haven't been prioritizing this aspect of your health, but you do need to be informed going forward. Talk to your doctor, get regular screenings, pay attention to your body, and yes, maintain regular sexual activity in whatever form works for your life and circumstances. Your prostate health matters, your sexual health matters, and you deserve to age with vitality, function, and confidence. The knowledge is here, the research is clear. Now it's up to you to take that information and use it to make informed choices about your health.